hello there, and welcome to another episode of Scouting 5, recapping scouting news from around the world for the week of February 22nd, 2021. I'm Scouter Ken, and I am once again recording from St. Albert, Alberta. So, if you've been listening to Scouting 5 for a while, you'll know that occasionally the story of the ongoing collection of lawsuits against Boy Scouts of America is some news that pops up from time to time in what we discuss and cover. And there's a little bit more of a development in that ongoing situation. Attorneys for the Boy Scouts have filed a motion as of, I believe, Monday this week, asking a Delaware bankruptcy judge to basically extend a preliminary injunction that halted lawsuits against local BSA councils and their sponsoring organizations during the bankruptcy proceedings. The injunction was set to expire on March 19th. The BSA is hoping to emerge from bankruptcy this summer, which would, I assume, mean settling all of these outstanding cases, among other things. And so they are seeking an extension to that injunction through the 19th of July. The BSA's attorneys argue that maintaining the injunction is critical to their restructuring efforts, which include efforts to enable their local councils and charter organizations for groups to participate in mediation and then ultimately to make a substantial contribution to settlements and a global resolution of abuse claims. Allowing lawsuits against the local councils and their sponsoring organizations, they say, will make it difficult, if not impossible, for BSA to both equitably compensate abuse survivors and to ensure that the organization can continue to carry out its mission. A couple days from now, on Saturday, the 27th of February, Scouts, parents, and Scouters from 7 Scouts BSA all-female troops in the La Crosse, Wisconsin area will gather to have some outdoor scouting fun at Camp Decorah, which is in Holmen, Wisconsin. Working as teams, the young women participating in the camp will have their skills tested as they are challenged with problems in areas such as first aid, outdoor navigation, fire building, and various other outdoor skills. There will also be ice fishing, sledding, and snow sculpture building, all leading to an outdoor cooking competition, which is evidently the finale event at the camp. And the event is very specifically oriented at only Scouts BSA female troops that were formed in the La Crosse area. Of course, Scouts BSA started welcoming female membership into the scouting part of its program back in 2019. It's going on exactly 2 years now. Apparently, in the Gateway Area Council, which covers La Crosse, there are 28 girls in 7 different troops, as well as 90 female Cub Scouts. So, cool to see them doing some girl-specific stuff as well. Cool that they get out and have a nice day camp. Not every scout troop is able to do so yet. All right, now here's another story that I know I've covered on Scouting 5 before. Unfortunately, another tragic story. This is, of course, the death of Mr. Ben Leonard, age 16, who was killed after falling from the Grand Orme in County in the UK, I think actually in Wales, while he was on a hiking trip with the Reddish Explorer Scouts, and that was in August of 2018. An initial inquest was held into his death, and a new inquest had actually been scheduled for July of last year, but was delayed to the coronavirus pandemic. And unfortunately, jurors at this new inquest were discharged prematurely after the coroner's court heard that the Scout Association had failed to provide the hearing with the full information that was required. The court at this new inquest had heard that the Chief Commissioner of the Scout Association of the UK and also the Chief Operating Officer, Mr. Tim Kidd and Mr. Ross Maloney, respectively, would be called as witnesses. Obviously, that did not happen, with jurors being dismissed early. Apparently, a new inquest hearing may still be held, but evidently not for a goodly number of months. But within about 3 months, evidently, the courts have committed to conducting another pre-inquest review. The National Scout Movement of Sri Lanka has launched a project to plant 100,000 trees at the President's House premises in the city of Colombo. The project was implemented to mark the 164th birthday of Lord Baden-Powell, the founder of the Scouting movement. And the official inauguration took place with the planting of a red sandalwood sapling by the country's president. The plant was also then registered via a mobile phone. Evidently, there's an app they can use to track their progress. More than 70,000 scouts across Sri Lanka are expected to participate and therefore, achieve and exceed the 100,000 tree target by planting 2 plants each. Many of these will be at the president's house premises, but they will also be planting in home gardens. And every tree planted will then be registered in a mobile app called Thuru, which is administered evidently by the Sri Lanka Scout Association. Continuous assessment will be done to ensure that the plants are well looked after. Scouts Canada has ended its lease with the Northumberland County in Ontario for property management over what is called county forest. And this is, another one of those bits of fallout from the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. Scout facilities in the forest have been closed since March of 2020. And that's actually the reason that Scouts Canada cited, along with uncertainty regarding their intended future use of the property. For those reasons, Scouts Canada determined that it would not renew its lease with Northumberland County. The matter is now in the county's hands. County staff will make recommendations to corporate sponsors and others in the Northumberland County Council regarding the future use of the property as part of their forest master plan, which is evidently being brought forward later this year. A 2021 Maru Voice Canada survey, which was actually conducted on behalf of Scouts Canada and Hydro One, which is sort of the main power provider in Ontario and a big sponsor of scouting activities, took a look at the frequency that Canadians and their families are engaging in outdoor and recreational activity for at least 30 minutes a day. Well, for at least 30 minutes in general. And the survey itself found that only 16% are engaging in that kind of activity daily, 52% are engaging once a week or less, and 28% are engaging once a month or less in at least 30 minutes of outdoor rec activity. The study, or rather a second study conducted by the Innovative Research Group, found that about 76% of Ontarians believe that participating in outdoor rec activities was a great way to support personal well-being during the pandemic. Although, obviously that belief doesn't necessarily translate into actual activity. To that end, Scouts Canada and Hydro One have partnered to launch what is called the Activity Finder. This is a free resource. It's available at scouts.ca/activityfinder, which offers families ideas for things they can do to get themselves outdoors. There's a database of evidently about 150 different fun or educational or thoughtful activities that youth of all ages can take part in to develop their outdoor skills a little bit, and also just to get outside and get active. And that is all the news I have for you this week. Thank you again for listening, and until next time, be prepared.